Okay, so guys, I was gonna take you quickly through how to draw bubble letters. And there's a couple different ways that you can try. So you have reference that you're gonna have with this lesson, but one of the ways you can do it is you can just draw the letter. So say I'm gonna draw A, and then you're gonna go draw around it, draw an outline around it, and I'm gonna do mine like kind of bubbly on this one. And you wanna try to stay the same distance away from the letter. And then I'm gonna do another bubbly inside for my A. And then you go in and erase that, the letter that you drew. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it, when you guys are gonna be getting sheets of paper about this size, maybe a little bit smaller. So if you're looking at this letter A, you want your letter to be as tall as the paper, okay? So look at it this way. This is the paper, look at the negative space, okay? So the space around the letter, so it's this area. Okay, and so we're gonna actually just draw the negative space. So like, starts right here. It's gonna be more narrow than the A that we already drew, but because you want it to come all the way down to the edge, okay? And then you're gonna come up here to the top. And leave these pretty big down here. Okay, and so these are that negative space. Now this is more narrow because this is a taller sheet of paper, but it's still the same shape, okay? Then you're just gonna do the inside part of your A, and you want this to try to stay around the same thickness. Okay, so there's an A. So if you want, let's do another one really quick. Let's do an S, because S is a little bit harder. We'll turn this one over. So say you're gonna draw your S. Let's do a practice S first. And you guys are gonna actually practice your letters on a small piece of paper before you actually do it in real life. So we created the bubble letter, and it looks like that. And if I draw a box around it, this is more narrow, so that's good. If I draw a box around it, you can kind of see how to draw it onto this piece of paper, right? Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna draw this like kind of triangle first. And then I'm gonna draw this triangle. Okay, and then this is touching the edge there. So I'm gonna come up. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep this around the same width, okay? And then there's another triangle up here. And another triangle over here. And this should actually probably touch the edge there. Okay. So, and draw lightly in case you need to erase like I am, because I need to keep this fairly thick over there. So there we go. And there's your S. Okay. And when you cut it out, you're just going to cut off the corners and cut off these areas. But you'll draw it. This way you'll be able to see it a little better too. And then go ahead and color it before you cut it out, because if you go off the edge, it doesn't really matter that way. But each letter, I want you guys to choose an element of art as inspiration to create your letter. So you can do texture, you can do value, you can do line. So yeah, so that's how you make a bubble letter. Okay, so I already did an S, and then I'm gonna do, this is texture, right? Because it looks like there's goo dripping down on the S. And then this one, I'm gonna do value, which I'll show you what that looks like. So when you're creating value in marker, you use lines, or what's called hatching, and the further away the lines are, the lighter it looks. The closer together they are, the darker they look. So remember, we're cutting this part out. This is an H, so I'm not going to worry too much if I go over the lines, but I'm going to start light and I'm going to go dark. So I'm just going to start by doing some diagonal lines fairly far apart. And I'm gonna try to get them closer together as I come down, and I might even do some cross hatching. Now I'm gonna cut it out so you guys can see what it looks like. Now there's all different ways you can do value. You can do value with color. Yellows obviously have the lightest shade, and when you get into the blues and the violets, those are darker, and oranges and reds are kind of in the middle. So you could do value with color as well. So yeah, that's my H. I'm gonna do some thicker lines on the top and bottom. So that's value, and this is texture. And I'm gonna keep going. So I think I'm gonna do Sarah. So my name is gonna be Sarah. You guys need to figure out a way to have at least 5 letters in your name. So if your name is Ian, you're gonna wanna use the first 2 initials of your last name, or you can use your last name instead of your first name. But you need at least 5 letters, okay guys? This video was created by Sabrina Wingren at A Space to Create Art.